job. All right, Steve, my clicker is not clicking anymore. It started clicking and then it stopped. So I'm going to let you catch up with me. Welcome, everybody, to the Amani Center. You may be seated. Thank you. All right, we are going to release the kids if Monica's here. Is Monica here? Okay, so we're going to release the kids. They're going to go with Monica. All right, y'all kind of wait over there for Monica, and she might have gone over to open up, and she'll be right here to come get you. All right, in the meantime, welcome to the Amani Center. We're so glad that you are joining us today. We like to start our service with our vision statement, and we say it aloud together, so let's all speak it now. We are lighting the path to peace together, and that is what we do here at the Amani Center. That is why we show up every Sunday. That's why we do classes. That's why we have events and all kinds of opportunities for you to come here and be part of lighting this peace on the planet. So thank you for saying yes to that. This is a little bit about who we are. We are an open and inclusive spiritual community, and we know that there are many paths to the divine, to God, to the universe, to spirit, to nature, whatever word you use for that divine energy that runs in, as, and through each and every one of us. You have your own path to be on, but we want to walk it together. We support each other when we need support. We receive support from each other when we need to receive that support. And we're a place where you can learn, where you can grow, doing that transformational work, and sometimes just be. Sometimes you just need a place to show up. We're a safe and welcoming place where you can come and just fill your cup. So no matter how you're feeling on a Sunday morning or before an event, go ahead and show up. This is a place where you can recharge, even if you're feeling like, oh, I don't know if I've got it in me. Sometimes I'm like that on a day or a night when I'm supposed to come for something, but now I have taught myself, I've learned that I'm always happier once I get here and I do the thing, and I feel so much better afterwards. So I encourage you, when you can, still do that and allow yourself to be lifted, because we're happy to do that here. All right, is there anyone here for the first time? We have a little something we give you if you're here for the first time, or if you're online, we have something we can send you. So feel free to reach out to us if you'd like to receive that. We're glad that you're joining us. One of the ways that we live into our vision and our mission here at the Amani Center is our Circle of Light, which is made up of our ministers and our practitioners who have done many, many years of training in metaphysics, spiritual mind treatment, and all of the teachings that we have here, so that they can show up to remind you of the divinity, of the truth of who you are. So I'm going to ask all of our members of our Circle of Light, all our ministers and our practitioners, to raise your hand so you can see who's here and available if you would like treatment after service. So see one of us. This is our gift to you. We would love to sit down with you and remind you of the truth of you if you are forgetting that. These are challenging times right now, so we need to come together and we need to receive that reminder and that upliftment. And also, if there's things that you know are for you that you want to bring in, or things that you're just dreaming about and you're like, no, that's not for me, but I wish it was, let us help you get there to know that it really is. Because if you're dreaming it, it is for you. All right, we're going to take a moment and go through the announcements, and we'll talk a little bit more about that manifesting. This is our schedule for the month of March. It's our last Sunday. I love the 5 Sundays because they allow us to bring extra speakers, and so today we have the wonderful Reverend Karen Blakely, who will be speaking. Woo! Thank you, Reverend Karen. So glad to have you here. Our theme is still Appreciate the Unknown. And then for next month, April, our theme will be Living the Lavish Life. And this whole month of April, is going to be about abundance and prosperity and bringing that in for yourself, but also bringing it in for the center. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We have our normal Sunday lineup, Ministerial Intern Lucian Baker on the first Sunday, then Reverend Pixie DeFore, Reverend Donna Apadone, and then Reverend Sherry Wynn. So show up for all those Sundays, whether you're online or in the space. It's going to be a great month. Today we have our potluck right after service, so stay, break bread together, have some food. It's a wonderful day to just spend some time in community, and community is really important right now. Some of the things that are going on every week here, Course in Miracles is Thursday afternoon at the Jaeger House. Every Saturday morning is our Saturday meditation and breath work. It takes place right here. Just show up and spend some time getting centered and start your weekend and your week correctly. And then chair yoga is over at the studio across the patio or across the parking lot. And that's every Tuesday at 11:30, and that's a really great way to start in a yoga process. This is something we've started doing every Thursday, and so far we've had a really nice turnout, and it's been a lovely opportunity to come together. So we are calling it "Staying Grounded in Challenging Times," and it's a support group of sorts. It's an opportunity to come together, talk about what you're going through, maybe ask for some support. You know, I'm really struggling with this or with that, and then we do some tools, we do some practices, meditation. We did some EFT tapping last week to sort of transform the things that are showing up as challenges into our strength and into something that brings us back to our center. And that's really important right now, y'all. So show up 11:11 every Thursday. We usually go about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. It's just a safe place to show up and talk and remind yourself and do some practices. So love to see you all here. That's just a donation basis. All right, we're going to be doing our annual patio cleanup, which we do every year because the patio gets pretty beat up. And we have Easter coming up, and we're going to be doing some fun stuff. So this will be Saturday, April 19th at 10 a.m. Would love to have you all sign up for that if you're able. Come and do what you can. You know, there'll be some probably a little bit of weeding, some planting of things. We've got some boxes now to start our Amani garden, and so that could be something we could be getting set up. We're going to get a new covering for the fence. You might have noticed what we've got up there is torn to shreds, so time to put a new one up. We're working on that. And then just some other things about making the patio look really nice as we start to use it more. On the table back there, that long wooden table, there are sign-ups for a lot of these things. If you could take a moment after service and hit that would be great if you're able. And then, Gina, will you grab that Claiming Your Abundance one? I'd like to pass that again. So this is part of the prosperity for April that I was talking about. So we have been talking about creating our own prosperity class for years, and we are finally doing it. And I'm really excited about it because pretty much all our ministers are participating. Plus, Kelly Webb is going to be running the Zooms, and then also I'll be working with it. And so it's going to be an amazing class. You're going to have everyone, Reverend Belinda, Reverend Pixie, Reverend Donna, Reverend Sherry, Reverend Kathy, and Kelly and Nicole and I all working on this. We're going to pass this clipboard through. We passed it last week. If you already signed up for interest, don't worry about it. But if you're looking at this and thinking, man, I would like to bring more prosperity, more abundance in my life, go ahead and put your name down as interested, and then we'll just send you an email so you can show up. We're doing it like we did Reverend Pixie's last class. So Tuesdays at 2:30 in person for an hour and a half, and then Wednesday nights via Zoom at 6:30 for an hour and a half. And so you can go to one class per week. You could go to both if you wanted to, but you could go in person one week and via Zoom the next week. Maybe you're out of town and back and forth. Whatever works for you. We're trying to make it really easy to show up. We're going to have a great workbook. There's going to be practices you'll do at home. There will be practices we'll do in this space. And if you really put your wholeness into this, if you practice this, it will start to transform your life around prosperity. And that's what we want. That's what we're showing up to do. So it is a free class. There will be a tithing practice during it. So if you want more information, show up for the first one or see me afterwards. If you have some questions, we'd love to see a big group for this because there's a lot of energy behind that. All right, amazing concert coming up with Jesse Powers. Do we have the video again or no? Okay, so Jesse's amazing. I think we're sharing this video online too. Some of you saw it last week. She's just lovely. She lives in Ohio. So she will be out here on April 12th. So I would really encourage everyone to show up for this. And there's also a clipboard for volunteering to help with this event, and it's on that same back table. We're going to start having those clipboards out there so you can see what's going on and you can sign up to help or to purchase a ticket. You can do that too. It is a $20 suggested donation. So don't miss this concert. She is fantastic. I'm going to see if the video's here. No, it's not. But we'll share it again. Don't miss her. You will love her. And that's it for our announcements today. So let's take a moment and let's go ahead and bless our service. Let's get a little bit quiet. If you're comfortable, you can allow your eyes to close as you just receive a cleansing breath in, and we drop into the divine space now. We've talked about exciting things that are coming. We've had our chance to greet each other. Now we go within. We get more still. And we allow ourselves to be fully present for this next hour or so. This is our time to center, to uplift, to be part of what a good thing that is unfolding on the planet, and to take ourselves out of the chaos and into the center. And so I just know that everybody who needs to be here is here. They showed up in person, or they're watching online, or even if they're watching it later in a recording on YouTube. You are here because there's something here for you, and you're bringing your gifts and you're receiving what's yours to receive. And I know that everybody who is part of this service is blessed, that our music, that our sound person, that our live stream technology, that all the volunteers who show up to make the space available and warm and welcoming, that our speaker and our practitioner all are lifted, divinely blessed just for being in this place of service and connection. And I know that everybody who showed up is going to be blessed by what they receive today, as well as bless others with what they bring, whether they realize it or not. And so I'm so grateful to all of you, to everyone who's doing their part, because that is how the Amani Center works. It is all of us coming together to create this community that will uplift and support and guide and inform and just care for us. That's what we're doing here, and it really matters. So with great gratitude for the truth of this, for this space, for this center, and for everyone who brings it together, I release this word into the law, knowing that as I speak it, it is already done and that all is truly well. And together we say, and so it is. All right, now we're going to have our affirmation, and I'm going to ask our practitioner of the day, Reverend Kathy, to come up, and she's going to lead us through that.
All right. So we're going to do the affirmation 3 times. The first time with enthusiasm, joy, happiness. The second time, quietly, with our voice, internalize the words. And the third time, please be silent and listen to my words. Let us begin. I step forward, claiming my sacred yes, for I know I am brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous manifestation of the One. I step forward, claiming my sacred yes, for I know I am a brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous manifestation of the One. I step forward, claiming my sacred yes, for I know I am brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous manifestation of the One. This is brought to you by Reverend Karen Blakely. And so it is. Oops. Oh, did I do something? Oh. Sorry.
Okay, we're going to lead ourselves into meditation now.
You know that one doesn't discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Just close your eyes and breathe and know that you are safe. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore. lift your sails in faith and trust that you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore. Float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore. Float into the mystery. Float into the mystery. Float into the mystery.
In this sacred space, this space of mystery, joy, love abounding, it is time for meditation. So I encourage you to get comfortable, and if it's okay, close your eyes and connect to your source, that source that beats your heart, that gives you breath and guidance and love. I encourage you to visualize floating in the waters, surrounded by this love and connection to Source. Enjoy your meditation. And gently come back into the room. Open your eyes. And another great song.
Divine healing prayer. Oh.
Oops. And now it's time for a divine healing prayer a spiritual mind treatment, an opportunity to connect at the deepest, most sacred level with that power and greatness and love that is who we are. It is an opportunity to let our light shine in your own life and in others. I know that there is one power and presence in this universe that unconditionally loves, supports, nurtures each and every one of us. And I am part, you are a part of that. With all the attributes, power, and love of Spirit. And as we go through each and every day, we reach into that source, knowing that we are loved, and be open to receiving all that Spirit has for us. Making a difference in your own life and the lives of others. Being that light that shines in the darkness. Being that smile to someone you don't know, but maybe has a frown on their face. Being of service where you are called, be it to a family member, a loved one, a friend, or a complete stranger. Just know that this is the calling right here, right now. And know that you are encouraged and loved by whatever you call your source. God, Spirit, nature, Allah, Buddha, whatever you call it. It is that source of life. And with great gratitude and a heart so full of love, I release my word into the universal law, knowing it is so. It is done.
Yes.
And together we say,
And
so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Kathy.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice. The sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. The sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of the rest behind, it will turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. Sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
I just needed my phone for my intro. Okay. All right. So today it's my great honor and joy to introduce our guest speaker, newly minted Reverend Karen Blakely, also known as Reverend K. Yes, that is something to applaud because that's a big deal. She is a newly licensed Reverend with the Center for Spiritual Living. She's spoken in several centers in Arizona as well as Northern California. She's a muse by trade and defines herself as a creative, analytical, with a passion for creating a safe space filled with compassion and grace where all are welcome. So we are so happy to have you here. Welcome, Reverend Karen Blakely.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll move things around. Let's give it up again one more time for that beautiful band and all of your singers. That takes a lot of work. I just love that. Oh, ooh. Oh, okay. Ha. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm tearing things apart already this morning here. All right. Now we're ready. Okay. Thank you, Marcy, for that. It is wonderful to be back here with all of you today and to see all of your beautiful faces. I love your monthly theme this month of appreciating the unknown. And I'm sure that you guys have talked a lot about this month, but I'm going to do it one more time here for our last week. There's a lot of unknown going on in the world right now, yes? Yeah. And I know every time I go and watch the news, there is something that just makes my head spin around, and I get this emotional charge, and I find that I slip out of that space of oneness, and I think, man, we have a long way to go to build this world that works for everyone. Like, it just feels like things are coming apart at the seams. And I know that things have to come apart if they're going to come back together again, but it leaves me with this sense of chaos. And I'm a nurse by trade, so when I feel something, I like to know the science behind it. And what we know is that chaos does three things to us. First is that it activates our fight or flight center. So it puts us in that space of ready to just run out the room or slug it out. And then it also shuts down our prefrontal cortex. So now we're in this mood of fight or flight, and we can't think clearly. And then if it keeps going longer, we actually get to a place where we start to feel disconnected and overwhelmed. Anybody ever get to that where you're just doom scrolling on your phone or binge watching your favorite show because it feels so much easier than dealing with what's going on? And what I want you to know is that if you have had an instant of feeling this way, you're not alone. Give yourself a break for that. That's how our brains are wired. And it's why we come here to this place and centers like this around the globe so that we can lean in and find a different way. And so when I feel that way, and I'll just encourage you to join me, we just take a deep breath. And letting it go. Because what else I know is that every person in this room, every sentient being on this planet is here by absolute, perfect, divine timing. That means if we're here right now, we're where we're supposed to be. That we can be the change that we want to see. And it is when we come together that we find that together we rise, that together we shine our light. It's built right into your vision statement that we said this morning. Lighting the path to peace together. It's together as we come together that we can begin to answer that call and listen to that little voice that says, come be me. Do this thing that scares the crap out of you that will help you to shine your light. I call that the sacred yes. And that's the name of my talk today. That it's when we come into this place of saying the sacred yes, that we find that we are no longer afraid of what may or may not happen out here, and become more afraid of what will happen if we play small and don't share our gifts with the world. The author and speaker, Debbie Ford, said, when you shine your light, you unconditionally give others permission to do the same. As I thought about that, I also thought about how we look at light in New Thought. And the New Thought Dictionary says that light stands for the radiation of spirit casting its rays through human incarnation. There is absolute light as well as perfect life at the center of everyone's being. That there is perfect life and absolute light at the center of each one of our beings. That we are that light in this world. So what is your sacred yes? How can you open up to begin to share your gifts with the center, with this community, and with this entire beautiful world that we live in? As we continue to contemplate this, I want to continue the conversation that Rev Sherry opened up for us so beautifully last week. And that's in giving you 3 things that we can do in answering the sacred yes. And so we start with trusting the process. And trust can come out in really big ways, and sometimes it's easy when you get in that spot of, oh, there's nothing else I can do, I'm just going to have to trust. But it also can happen in small ways. A few weeks ago, I took my partner, Reverend Mitch, who I know sends his love to all of you here. It's your extended family for us. I took him down to the airport, and it was on a weekday, and I knew I needed to get back in time to still get to work on time. And I was like, oh, I hope there's not any traffic. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to put in my GPS so I can see the time. I got GPS going, and I get in my car, and it says, turn here. And I was like, that's not the 80. That's not the way I thought we were going to go. And I was like, well, I'm just going to go with it. Maybe it knows something that I don't. And I take this turn, and before long, it has opened up into this beautiful countryside with rolling hills, and there's a couple cows in the field grazing, and just me. There are no other cars. I'm like, this is my kind of rush hour. I'm so happy that this is it, right? And as I keep going, and I'm twisting and turning, I'm like, I have absolutely no idea where I am, but this is beautiful here. There's birds soaring in the sky, and I get home safe and sound and end up to work a perfect amount of time. And I'm in this place of absolute peace because I didn't have to fight the stop and go. That I was like, oh, this is part of the reason we moved to Grass Valley, was to get away from rush hour traffic. And I started to think about how this is a perfect metaphor for our own lives. That we each have within us our own spiritual GPS. But how often does it say, turn left? And we go, no, I know better. I'm going to go this way instead. And we circumvent that path and we go our own way, and we may eventually still get to that same place, but it might be a little more crooked. It might take a little longer to get there. That as we continue to remember this, that we can trust that even when we're in a place where we have absolutely no idea what is going on or why we've been called to do something, that we're like, nope, that's my internal GPS. And just like the GPS on our phones or in our car, we're going to trust that process. and know that it's going to get us where we want to go, as long as we are aligned with that sacred yes and standing in our light. Doesn't that feel good? Yeah. It's when we trust this process that we find that we're in that right place. And this is the quote that I was looking at my notes for. Ernest Holmes said this quote back in 1988. He said, "Every day, every minute, every second, there is a choice. Do we follow that internal GPS or do we go our own way? We choose what we want, but we must trust the law to determine how our choice is to come about. We are on the planning committee, but we are not on the ways and means committee." Oh, I like this one. I do a lot of management in my work life, and I thought, ooh, this is perfect. I want to be on the Ways and Means Committee. I want an absolute map that shows me every step I'm going to take to get where I'm going, right? I hear a lot of laughter out there. I'm thinking there are many people that are in my camp. And really what we get to do is be on the planning committee. For years, I felt called to make videos and put this teaching out into the world on TikTok and on YouTube, and ways that could really support younger generations as well as generations to come. And I kept thinking about it forever. I mean, I think the first time I thought about it was in 2020. I finally made my first video last week. Yeah. It's just a short one, but I stepped into it, and it feels so vulnerable and so exposed. And I'm like, yeah, you know, there's a part of me that wants to like beat myself up for how long it took me to say yes to that sacred yes. But what I know is that sometimes when we're in that space of thinking about it and really processing everything, that we're simply in that container of becoming that which we need to be before we can step into that fullness. So just like spring, it gives us this perfect example of that. When I moved in with Reverend Mitch in Grass Valley, I brought this great big white pot with me. And he's like, there's nothing in that. It's just dirt. And I'm like, just wait. And it sat outside through the summer, and he's just like, okay, there's still nothing in the pot, Karen. And I'm like, just wait. And it sat outside all through the winter. And just last week, little sprouts started to peek up. Anybody know? Yeah. It's my tulips and my daffodils. And what I know about tulips is that they need to stay outside and be in that cold so that they can dig their roots down deep. They weather the storm so that they can sprout up and share all of that delicious beautifulness that is their light with us. So if you've had some things thrown at you in life and you've had to weather some storms, I want you to consider that maybe that was the way that you were able to put down roots, to really dig in, to build that foundation, to know that you know who you are and what is yours to do. And that from the solid foundation, now you can rise up to answer that sacred yes and shine your light with this world. And that takes a lot of trust. It takes surrender. And surrender is one of those words that gets a bad rap. But it really is that we're surrendering things over to the divine, that we're allowing the divine to come in and lead the way. And it takes the willingness to own what's yours to do. I was like, really? I'm going to make videos? I don't know anything. I don't even have a TikTok account. Like how, you know, and I argued. Oh, did I argue? And then I had to own it. I finally had to say, this is what I'm called to do. Then everybody that is there to show up to help me in this path is just going to automatically show up. And it beautifully aligned once I said yes, once I owned it. And when you're owning it, what you're really doing is owning your divine power. And power is one of those divine principles that also gets a bad rap. A lot of people see power as in power over others. But what we're talking about is the power of. It's the power of the divine within us. And so there is a difference between power and force. And what I think what we typically see as power is actually a synonym for force. And David Hawkins, in his book, Power versus Force, expresses it this way. Force is a temporary, aggressive, and external. It often involves coercion, manipulation, or competition. It creates resistance and is ultimately unsustainable. Power, on the other hand, is authentic, stable, and internal. It comes from truth, integrity, and alignment with a higher consciousness. Power does not need to dominate. It naturally attracts and influences without resistance. That when we shine our light, that we are automatically attracting everything that we need to us. That it is when we shine our light that we illuminate the darkness. That when we shine our light together, that we illuminate the entire planet. So I want to leave you with one final quote today. This one is a little long, and some of you may be familiar with it, but I'll just ask you to indulge me on this one. It's a reading that actually, when I looked it up to see who the original author was, it's debated, which I thought was really interesting. But one of the authors is Marianne Williamson, and so I'm going to go with that one. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are playing small, does not serve the world. We are all meant to shine. Yes, each one of you have a light within you. I encourage you to join in this journey this week of really contemplating what's calling you. What gift do you have to share that this world needs in so many ways? Because it is only as we share our gifts, as we answer that divine call, that will lift that vibration of the planet. I look forward to hearing more about that from each of you. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you, Reverend Karen. Yes, such good information and such beautifully delivered. Thank you so much. All right. Have I lost my clicker? It's on the shelf. There it is. Thank you. All right. So now it's time for our joyful time of giving, our opportunity to share our gifts and our tithes with the Amani Center. This is an independent center, so this is how we do it. This is how we show up in the world. There's lots of ways that you can give. We're going to pass some baskets in a few moments, but so you can throw checks, you can throw cash, you can throw whatever you want in there. You can use these codes, and all the white seat backs have little cards with codes on them as well for PayPal and Venmo that you can use. It's really helpful for the board, and we always encourage people to set up that recurring donation if you're able to through your bank. That way you don't have to worry about it. It's going out. There's no fees associated with that. But however you give, we are just so grateful for you. We really cannot do it without everyone just putting in their little piece, and that's how we do it here. So I'm going to ask Reverend Kathy to come up and, before the baskets pass, just bless the donations that are going out, and then we'll have a song while they go round.
Not on yet. There we go.
Marcy brought us this song, and it is just such a beautiful song, and I'm so happy that you did. And maybe you guys know it, but the feels that you get when we do this, when I listen to it, when we sing it, so good. So I hope you enjoy this one.
All right, we're going to let Reverend Kathy bless these tithes first.
Oops.
That's okay.
Sorry, Kathy.
So I encourage you to give as your heart calls you to give. The energy of money is a soul gift. It helps the Amani Center do what we do here so beautifully. As you give, know that you also receive. You receive the many blessings here and everywhere because we travel together. We are lights together. And so I bless these tithes and offerings, knowing that as the energy of money improves each and every one of us, it improves our community and beyond. I'm grateful for this. We are grateful for this. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Kathy.
Troubles come, oh, troubles go. One thing I know, it's all right, yeah, it's all right. Oh, these times are changing, the whole world's in a spin. Wherever you land, it's all right, yeah, it's all right. It's all right now, it's all right. No one can take away your light. So keep on shining, shining bright. It's all right now, it's all right. You spend your whole life fighting for everything you got. It's enough to make you crazy. It's all right now, it's all right. Don't stop giving that love you give. Don't you give up on me now. There ain't nothing in your way. It's all right now, it's all right. It's all right now, it's all right. No one can take away your light. So keep on shining, shining bright. It's all right now, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, yeah. It's all right.
so it
And
is.
so it is. Hallelujah.
All right, are the kids back yet? Do we see any kids? Nope, they're okay. So we're going to just know they're having a good time, and they'll make it back in a minute or two. Reminder that it is Potluck Sunday, so stay, have some food together, whether you brought something or not. We always have just the right amount of food, if not too much, so please stay. And so let's stand, and we can sing our closing song together. Hold hands if that feels good to you.
The presence is here.
The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. I will meet you in grace.
And so we just breathe into the space, breathing in all the goodness that has been brought in from the beautiful music and the message and the prayers and every word that has been spoken, knowing that it is divinely inspired. And we just bless every person that is in the sound of my voice right now, knowing that as we travel out into the world, that we travel in zones of protection, that light of the divine is carried with us and surrounds us, and we travel in absolute safety everywhere that we be. And we just rejoice. We rejoice in the joy and the love and the deepening in that is this beloved center. And speak a word of blessing for the food that we will eat as we share in further community, knowing that it too is a blessing. And I simply call it good, and so very, very good. And so it is.
And so it
So
is.
it is.
So it is.
Woo! Thank you, Reverend Karen. Woo!